Hey guys, just making a few short videos to help explain the different sections of the major design project for your design technology course. There's a lot of different ways that you can set out the different sections, so this is just one example. What I will do is I'll just explain the main areas and then I'll slowly scroll through. So if you want to pause your video, you can see some of the further advice that's down there. And then, for example, here, I might just do a quick explanation of the scaffold. So that'll be the same through all the videos. So video one's going to be the identification of need. So I put must have here. You don't have to have all of these things. You might have things that are different to this, but this will just give you an idea of some of the things that would be good to put into here to try and get you not necessarily a band 6. I just put that in there so you were thinking about getting a high mark, but getting into the top of the marking criteria for this. So you must identify a genuine need, clear explanation of the problem you're solving or you're trying to fulfill, outline who the proposed target market might be for your design, what's your motivation for undertaking this design. Make sure you have some evidence to back up that it's a genuine need. That could be articles, surveys, and research. As evaluation at the end of the early stages of your research. And finally, justification of the need, and try and make that really clear. So for the top mark range, we're saying the student identifies and provides a detailed explanation. So doing all this stuff is kind of getting you towards a very detailed explanation. You're explaining why it's a genuine need or opportunity, and you're justifying the final selection for the development of your MDP. So we are really trying to hit those red words in each of the sections. I'll just scroll down slowly now in case you want to pause your page and have a look at those dot points. I just put the HSC markers comments at the bottom as well. That can just help you understand what they said better projects might be. This is one way to do it. Like I said, an opening paragraph explaining the area, field, market you're designing in. Some students will do 3 different ideas, so they might do 3 totally different ideas, 3 ideas along the same sort of pathway, and the PMI, which can be done a number of different ways, but what's the positive of this, what's the negative, and why is this idea interesting? Justification of the idea chosen. So this is pretty early justification, but why you chose one of those potentially. A brief design situation, that could be a couple of paragraphs, maybe up to half a page on the background, why you're designing in this area and so on. There's more information above on that. Your design brief, so like it says up the top, just maybe a 1-sentence design brief that really pinpoints exactly what you're doing. Your target market, some initial research, maybe some surveys, speaking to a focus group, an industry expert, and your motivation for designing the product. Some students do this little table, which is a who, what, why, where, a summary of where it fits into those, and a justification is going to help you prove that it's a detailed exploration, hopefully that it's a genuine need. For some designs, people might even do a profit and loss analysis. So how much it will be to design and prototype, how much it might be to protect the idea, to manufacture it, to market it, and to finally retail it. And is it going to be a product that you could potentially take to market and make a profit off? And finally, a summary, analysis, justification of the initial identification of need. Let's just have a quick look at a pretty good folio. This student's given me permission to use this, so we can have a good look at it. I'll just open it up there. I've gotten rid of student number. It's from a few years ago. Don't necessarily do them the same way all the time. Just for a start, he's got a picture of some of the work that he did. So he's got an actual picture of his work on the very front page, which some markers consider to be a good thing. You don't just want to have a generic picture on there. He's set up a pretty good contents page. This isn't exactly the 15 sections of the folio. It's slightly different, and again, that can be set up in a number of different ways, but can be good for the market to be able just to see that you're well organized, so you can get some marks there in your communication. They can quickly get to different sections if they need to, and see where they're up to. So he's done that. So this student started off by looking at different needs that might be possibilities. And you don't have to do this. Some people choose to do it, and it kind of helps you to justify, hit that justify word. So he did a few people suffering from arthritis. I won't go through them all. And I think the one that he's gone for that's highlighted here is increasing populations in cities causing more expensive and slower commutes. So trying to come up with a transport system that can work in conjunction with public transport was the final idea. Did a little bit of an evaluation down there, so sort of saying why I did it, and further evaluation here. Research. So lots of research into why this idea might be needed. So you can pause on that if you want to. He's got lots of graphs. You can see it's like really well laid out graphically. He's been very succinct in the way that he's put it down there. And he's trying to back up why he thinks it's a genuine need. Again, a bit of an evaluation that summarizes all of that is going to help for your evaluation throughout your portfolio. So then he's gone and looked at a couple of different ideas. I know that was a genuine CAD drawing that he'd done. I can't remember if that was a pencil sketch, and I'm guessing that was probably just a picture from the internet. I mean, it'd be great if you did drawings of all of these, but reality is you probably don't have time at this stage. He's done some analysis there, so he's analysing why these ones are, might be plausible for the major design. And he has gone with a final choice, justified it. Gone into the target market, who are skateboarders, what's their gender, what's their age, so on, an evaluation, some really early creativity stuff. So this could totally not be here, it could be later on, but this particular student really wanted to prove to himself that it was a genuine need and that he might have some initial ideas that he could come up with. So he's done that. And he's even put down some of those initial ideas, trying to come up with a reason why it's a genuine need, but this could be in the evidence of creativity section, which is part 5 of the folio, so it would not have to be here. He's evaluated that and so on. A few mind maps and things, coming up with ideas, just trying to, again, this could be in creativity, but he's done more in creativity, so he's just trying to show genuine need here. Probably not really needed identification of need. And it even, when he was trying to decide, he'd even come up with an initial prototype just to test his idea. So he could essentially, so he could justify that this was the idea to go for. And again, he's justifying the genuine need and opportunity. Here's the problem. Here's how his idea is going to fix it. He did do that table, the who, what, why, where, and how that fits in and how it's going to help. So using those words, like he's justifying the genuine need all the way through this. He's trying to say how I've justified it. He's done a design situation. Could have been a bit earlier, but he did explain what he was thinking all the way through. A design brief to design an efficient compact transport system that is able to fit into a small backpack. So very good. Looked at trends in this type of area, which is great again. Did a survey, asked a whole heap of people of the age of people that might use this, his classmates, I think, in here. Summarised the responses, had a bit of a conclusion, spoke about his personal experience and motivation, and even chucked in a possible scenario of a potential end user. And evaluated there again. And then a final justification of why this idea is the one that he wants to go for. It goes on a little bit of analysis of research, feasibility, and a final statement and evaluation. But you couldn't knock this too much. He spent 10 pages on that first section, so that's quite a lot, but he's definitely hit the mark in that first section, justifying the genuine need. And if we just go back very quickly and look at what we're going for, he's done a detailed exploration of genuine need, and he's definitely justified why he's chosen that for the MDP. So, like I said, 10 minutes, long time, but 10 pages is a lot to put into that. But yeah, quite worthwhile to make sure he's hitting those red parts. But like I said earlier in the video, some of those bits could definitely have gone into the creativity section. Another one, just really quickly, he's identified the need. He's tried to make it graphically a bit better. He's put in some research and some statistics. Talked about his target market. Done some basic sketches again. Done his final justification. And yeah, that one I would say is probably a 45 out of 60. The other one could be pushing closer to being, high 50s, maybe even a 60 out of 60 for the skateboard one. So that's the first section. Thanks.